Hi guys! Okay, most of you know me as the Spice Gal or Emma from Nutrigal. I did Nutrimost three and a half years ago, nearly four. I gotta do the math. Anyway, you don't want to wait while I do that, but a long time. So back when it was most of the original people that you probably know, Amy Elizabeth, myself, Anne Trent. There were so many more, but they're not actually on the page anymore. Doc Kelly Fisher, who is one of, she should be the Nutrimost goddess. Woman knows everything. Anyway, okay, so I did post a live video and I accidentally just deleted it. So I'm just gonna quickly make this video and I'll post it again. But I'm not doing it live because I hate live videos. And as you know, if you watched the last one, I stuttered through it. Anyway, I made some notes because I've gotten so many messages about macros. And I read so many posts about macros daily where people are promoting 50, 30, 20, which is a pretty standard phase 4 macro, I guess. Used to not even be a thing. In phase 4, back when we started the program, none of the doctors worried about macros. No one worried about macros. It came about, I'm not even sure how it came about, but about a year and a half ago to 2 years ago, that's when people really started focusing on it and it became such an issue and people stress out about it. Well, here's the thing. Now people are promoting higher than 50% fat. And most people know a low carb diet as keto, and it's higher fat, higher protein, very low carb, which is okay, but we're going to talk about that again in a minute. Okay, I'm going to read from my notes because otherwise I sound like a blubbering idiot and I don't want to. But I did make notes because I was talking to a doctor about this recently and I had to have it kind of dumbed down for me because I'm like, what? I don't understand doctor speak. I'm not a doctor. I work in health and nutrition, but, or rather I study it more. I love it and I want to learn more about things, but I want to understand them on kind of that dumbed down level. Anyway, so I'm going to read you some of my notes. Okay, so first we've got leptin, which Dr. Ray talks about all the time. It's our fat burning hormone. It tells your body when it's full. And then on the other side, if you're thinking about you've got leptin here and you've got ghrelin. Now what ghrelin is, it's a hunger hormone. It's the opposite. When your body produces too much of it, it makes you feel very hungry and it promotes fat storage, which none of us want. Okay, so they're the two that when we're talking about leptin and ghrelin. Okay, so when carbs are depleted and your body starts using fat for fuel, right? So basically the keto diet, really low carb. So when you're depleting your body of those low carbs, your body's going to use the fat for fuel. But when you do that over a long period of time, your body starts producing less and less leptin and your metabolism slows down, and then you'll stop burning fat and start storing more from whatever you're eating, basically. Okay, so the Nutrimost Forever program is something Dr. Ray brought out, I think, this last year. I personally have not done it because I do something very similar, more of the carb cycling. I don't worry about my macros. Well, when I say I don't worry about my macros, I do worry about my macros. I just don't worry about 50, 30, 20. I change them up all the time because I never want my body to be in that state where it knows what's going on, so to speak. So basically, healthy is the most efficient way to reduce body fat fast is by doing either the Nutrimost Forever program where you have your burn and balance days and whatnot, or something similar to carb cycling. So carb cycling or, Nutrimost Forever basically tricks your body into, I'm reading from my notes here, mobilizing your fat from your most stubborn areas for energy whilst boosting your metabolism. Our bodies have two main fuel sources, carbs and fats, basically, right? Where's my other notes? And so carb cycling changes up your macros daily. You're going to do lower carb days, moderate carb days, and then high carb days. And on your low carb days, your body's going to grab from your fat stores for energy. And on your high carb days, it's going to produce an overload of leptin, which kind of skyrockets your metabolism for a few days only, and only to drop it back down to low carbs where you burn calories from fat faster and more efficiently because your body has been in that up and down state and it's like, ooh, what's going on? What's going on? We're not bored here. So you're not going to plateau. When you're carb cycling, your body is always being tricked into, oh, I don't know what's going on here. Whereas if you do keto or something for very long periods of time, you'll notice plateaus and you'll notice, oh, hang on, I'm starting to put on a little weight here and I don't know why. Well, our bodies weren't ever meant to be at the macros of 50, 30, 20 for very long periods of time. Carbs are not the devil. Carbs are fantastic. If you're taking in good carbs, they're amazing for your body. And so, oh, I should get back to my notes. So while fat intake is kind of the backbone to fat burning, fat's caloric density is nearly twice that of carbs and proteins. And while low fats are beneficial for our body to help absorb vitamins and nutrients and things, it's beneficial also to have those high carbs because high carb days, because leptin responds best to high carb. And not all the time, I'm just saying when it's changed up, leptin's going to respond very well to that, produce more of it, and then keep your body guessing. And so, and I know Dr. A's gone on about leptin resistance, and a lot of us have developed that. I do believe, and I know he has many strategies to reverse that or to help our body's metabolism change and our hormones to reset and things like that. But I really want you guys to really take from this that changing up things constantly is good for your body. It's not good to do the same thing over and over again, just like it's not good to eat the same things over and over again. That's why I created the Spice Gal, and to have those, phase 2 and phase 4 blends that we can just add to food. So if you're eating chicken 5 times a week, it's going to taste different every single time. We got to keep changing things up in our bodies. It's so important. And like I said, if you haven't looked at Dr. Ray's Nutrimost Forever program or carb cycling, something different, and you're having problems, that might be something you start to look at rather than just listening to everyone saying, oh, up your fats, up your proteins, take those carbs out, because that doesn't work for everybody. In fact, it doesn't work for most people long term. I do not know not one single person who does the same macros all the time that has kept weight off long term. In fact, most of the people I know that do really high fat all the time are the ones that gain it back and have to do multiple rounds after multiple rounds of Nutrimost. And while I'm sure Nutrimost and the doctors love that, what we're all really most concerned about is our health. And those doctors want you to keep the weight off just like you do, and they do their best to help you. And most of them, if you sit down with them, they'll tell you changing things up is what needs to happen for your body. And macros isn't something you need to worry about unless you're really struggling in phase 4 and having a really hard time. And at that point, I've listened to Dr. Ray's tell people, like I've listened to this in a speech he gave, that macros of 33, 33, 33, which are very hard to achieve, are the most anti-inflammatory for your body. And what happens when you're not at your weight set point and you're having problems, usually it's due to inflammation from adding foods in like dairy or things that aren't responding well to your body. So that inflammation needs to come down. So you really need, when you're trying to get inflammation down, you definitely do not want to have macros of 50, 30, 20. You need to change it up day to day for about a week. Every day, different macros. Don't keep them the same, because what happens, you get the same results. That next week, the same thing's going to happen. You're going to be above weight set point because you've changed nothing up. And you really need to start listening to your body, guys. I know for me, I really want dairy. I love dairy, but my body doesn't respond well to it. So now I've just got to suck it up and realize that I can have dairy very rarely. It's just the changes in our body, and it's what's best for our health. Listen to your body. I love you guys, and I love all your messages and everything, but just remember, some of the people commenting, and even myself, you need to do what's right for you, not what 100 other people are just telling you to do because something worked for this person and something worked for this person. Listen to your doctors, listen to your coaches, listen to people you trust, not just Joe Blow who just commented over here and you don't even know them. Well, what do they know about your health? Your doctor knows more than anybody. Listen to them, guys. Love you guys. Have a good night.